Alright, recording. Here's the first description video for the absolute value functions converting between all four different representations. This is connection 1. Going to talk about some of the concepts going back and forth between absolute value equations and piecewise equations. Okay. Alright, here's some of the concepts. Absolute value, remember that implies two parts of it, a positive and a negative, which is why we get two solutions. Got to remember, like looking at an absolute value graph, if I have a graph like that right there, the axis of symmetry goes through the vertex. Okay, so the vertex is the cutoff on the line of symmetry. For piecewise equation, like down here, if I have a piecewise equation, it's defined in pieces, and for absolute value, we have the right side and the left side. We're going to call this, whatever's on the right side, the positive, and whatever's on the left side, the negative, just for convention. Okay, so we need to cut off the domain in the piecewise equation. We're going to say the top is the right side, the positive side, and the bottom is the left side, the negative side. Okay, so for an example, they give us an equation, an absolute value equation. Remember, this looks just like point slope form, just like general form of a parabola. It's A, H, and K. H and K is the vertex. This number right here is where you're going to use to cut off the domain here in the piecewise equation. So we're going to say, just for convention, the positive is greater than or equal to H. So there's H. So for my positive leg, which is this line up here, we're going to say the domain is x greater than or equal to that value. And then remember, absolute value, we switch it. We put a negative out front. Everything else stays the same, like you see right here. And then just less than. Do not include an equal to, because that would mean it's not a function, because it would, the point -3 would exist in both lines, and we can't have that. So the top we're going to make greater than or equal to, the bottom less than. And then everything is the same right there. So going from the equation to piecewise, as soon as you cut it off at the vertex and understand the positive and negative side, it should be really easy to write the equation. And going backwards is just as simple if they give you the line like this in point slope form, which they do. What if it's not? You guys are going to have to see that in demonstrations in class. So if they give you this equation right here, you can see, well, A, H, and K are straight for us every time. See how H, the domain, is split up at the H value? All I have to do is use the positive part, whatever the slope is for the positive part, and write it with absolute value bars. So that's some of the concepts. That's it.